A lot like what we just witnessed. Already tied 2-2, under 5 minutes left to play here, and these teams going back and forth. And keep in mind, there's a lot of former teammates among these two squads. APG and Neptune were together with Ace not too long ago, competing and finishing in that 5th, 6th level. Both of these teams, you know, are all these players kind of finding their homes on different teams and competing, trying to break that spot and move up to the next level.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for these guys. EXCELERATE know exactly what's on the line here. You know, Renegades are a very good team. Only lost game 5 against TOX, like we mentioned earlier. And in the stage of the game, I think they've got the confidence now to even try and do it on Sunday. So we have to see exactly what EXCELERATE can actually do here.
Yeah, no matter how this game ends, whichever team comes out ahead, this series is far from over. These two teams are so focused. We're so upset with how yesterday had gone, and they've had a lot of time to think about it, dwell on it, and get prepared coming into this. You know, you heard from APG earlier. He's looking for 3-0s. He's looking for victories here today. Their mind is on first place.
Yeah, and as you can see now, APG trying to be as much of a pain as possible from that carbine to give some room for his teammates to go from pink side to try and get a clean up here. But certainly for APG, that just isn't the case and will get taken out there around that carbine side. And as you can see now, Neptune, we know how great the individual plays, and with Camo on top of that now, going into the base to see if he can get any picks up here. He's going to try and struggle, try and be as much of a bait as possible to try and help with that flag. But sadly for them, they've already got a couple members down. But we have to see what he can do from here.
Yeah, and they do not know that he's carbine side the base. They know they have Camo and they know he's around here, but you can see they're constantly looking, trying to find where he is. And Neptune, he is on the flank like the Predator, moving into the base, and he catches one. So they should at least have eyes or kind of know where he is, but Ace does not spot him. He's trying to move up forward, and what a great flank, but oh my God, he gets a little greedy, wants to double kill with a back smack and finish off the one shot. Ace goes extremely clutch. That could have absolutely been the game. Finish off 2 players, be in the enemy team's base with Camo in flag pull position. Oh my God.
It's just one of those things you just don't want to see happen. Maybe if he actually assassinated the other player first and then taken out the guy P3. The P3 guy was so open, he was weak as it was anyway, so it could have been cleaned up by anyone else. But fantastic play by him, but sadly, the members of Renegades were quick to react to take him out there.
Yeah, and then Ace, keep in mind, we talk about kill swings at times. Ace should have probably been backsmacked and taken out of that battle immediately. He turns around, kills Camo player, and then Plasma Pistol shoots and kills Mikwin to clean out P2. Those are what we're talking about when these little things can have such big impacts on the game.
And as you can see now, 2 members of EXCELERATE are already down, but so is for Renegades. But it looks like APG does take one out in the moment. This is what I like about APG as well. Always wait for you to make the first mistake. He's an aggressive player, got a very aggressive pistol on him as well. But as you can see, he always makes sure that someone's behind him every single time to get that cleanup. But EXCELERATE at this moment in time, there's 2 of them on carbine trying to make sure that they can't get to that flag, but doing a great way of trying to get some kind of defense going with that crossfire. But it looks like at this point, Renegades, you know, struggling to even get in the flag at the moment.
I mean, there is so much action. The good thing for Renegades is a lot of this action is taking place on EXCELERATE's side of the map. It kind of looks like they're having some trouble even getting out of the base and grabbing control. Looks like that player was able to grab P1, but great communication and teamwork here for EXCELERATE. They end up picking up that kill, but as you can see in the kill feed, it is still back and forth. Now, just about a minute left to play here, but keep in mind, with the score being tied at 2-2, it is first 3 caps to win, but an additional 3 minutes will go on the clock should this actually hit the overtime mark. But of course, next 5 cap does win.
That's right, and Renegades now, they did fantastic defense. They had 3 members there, 1 underneath and 2 on the flag, just trying to bait EXCELERATE out as much as they can. They managed to get away from that now, but straight away, 2 down now for Renegades. This could be the chance to try and push in a bit further, but they know there's 1 member from Renegades, and that's Neptune, of course, being a pain, trying to get as much damage done as possible, just to keep him at bay as much as they can until some of his teammates come up on a respawn.
And Neptune, such a great player, that new young talent coming into the league. In a big battle with Arctic, Arctic does come out ahead, so big win there because those kills are so much more crucial when you're in your own base trying to push out here. So you can see numbers advantage, though, still over to Renegades, no matter how many kills we're seeing picked up here on the main stream. 15 seconds left to play in regulation. And keep in mind, it only gets harder from here on out. Lethal, the winner of this match goes on to play Splyce. That is a scary thought.
Again, yeah, another tall order. You saw what happened in that last series. And you know what? Renegades and even EXCELERATE now have that potential. We like I mentioned about TOX before, how well they played before. But at this moment in time, going back to this game, we haven't really seen that much top mid control. You see players like Shotzi, as soon as he gets that top mid control, go straight into their flag like nobody's business, just make sure he gets that damage done, take him off guard. But it seems like they're a little bit scared here and there to even make that final push. I think they're trying to make it absolutely certain that when they push in, they get that guaranteed flag cap.
Great job by Penguin there. Pushes in the P2. You see Arctic. He's going for that stick. Misses 2 sticks, and then this is scary here. You can see APG grabs himself a double, including a perfect shot there. You've got Demon D hiding car 1. Was the last guy live momentarily. He gets double teamed as well, and I think we're going to be seeing a flag pull here shortly.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And I said it before, EXCELERATE, it seems like with the member of Renegades now, they always try and get onto that flag, but they always get stuck around that Eli position, don't really get too much out of it. And it seems to be the same case again and again. So, of course, it's still in overtime, and we could see a potential draw here.
Yeah, and you can see Boo Boo Doo and crew, they know that there's another player somewhere alive on the map. They weren't able to get eyes on him, but they figured out it is Mick when he's over there car side the base. So they are just very scared to allow any flag pulls here. They're playing so defensively. The defense has been great, though. They're keeping Renegades at bay, even though they're constantly knocking on the doorstep. And once again, that's the second time we saw 3 dead in the last minute of this game. And only 1:30 left to play in total here.
It's just weird how, you know, there isn't really any fear between these two teams. It's more the fact that they're wide where, you know, if they make that crucial play, you know what it's like, especially on this game. So when you get 2 or 3 dead, even just 1 dead, that's your opportunity for all 4 of you to fly and trying to make some kind of progress, because there's no point getting these 2 or 3 members dead and then just leaving it, waiting for someone else to make the first move. You've got to react straight away as soon as you get those players down.
Yeah, and I'd say it's the aggression is stronger from Renegades. You can see even Boo Boo Doo Boo trying to push into the base, had Mick with no shields, wasn't able to pick up that last shot, misses that final melee, and that push that we finally saw EXCELERATE battle to get the ability to even go and push out of their base, shut down almost instantly.
And one thing to take into account as well with Renegade, especially with APG, people are probably wondering, well, he's on Eli so much on EXCELERATE's side. Why is he not pushing in? It's more the fact that EXCELERATE's defense is so good in terms of their crossfire and to trying to hold him back. But APG knows that you've got to be patient, you've got to be passive, you've got to wait for that moment to make the first mistake. But they weren't really making too many mistakes anyway.
2 dead, last 2 players right here in front of Arctic. He's got the last guy trying to finish him off. Does a great job of juking and jiving around to stay alive. Gets that melee. I like where APG's head was out, trying to do everything he could to pick up that kill. But this is a good opportunity. 2 dead for each team. The flag is out. Arctic on the flank, finishes the last one before he picks up the kill, or that guy, but the last guy alive in the base gets the flag toss out. They're going for the return. Everyone's flooding it. He doesn't get the touch, but somebody is going to get it in time. 3 dead now for EXCELERATE. You can see Demon D just trying to buy time, and that was their only opportunity. They were so close to taking that. Now I'm going to wait until we hear from League Ops exactly how that one's going to be treated. I think I know what's going to happen here on the replay, but this match is far from over.
Yeah, that was extremely close. You saw there was like 15 seconds left remaining, and of course, what better way to do with a flag than throw it out to courtyard? They knew that they were not panicked, but you know, it's the only thing you can do. You can get some of the slays beforehand, but with that much time remaining, it's probably one of the smallest instances where you have to panic for that return. But you saw then that that flag to courtyard was probably the biggest play from the end.
I mean, if you had to equate that game to a Slayer, that was like 50 to 49.5. That game was so close. If that flag was returned at home, it was over. They were going to be able to put that in. Demon D was sitting next to the red team's flag throwing grenades. You know, I'd have to go back and look at it all again to try to figure out what they could have done better, but these are 2 very evenly matched teams leaving everything on the line right now.
I reckon, like, in that game time, if there's an extra 30 seconds involved, that could have gone their way. You never know in that kind of circumstances. But when it's 15 seconds left and, you know, you've got to try and get that pull to stop from getting the cap, there's only one place to go, and that is, of course, going on corridor. If they threw it underneath the base or even just touched it, by then, you can see from the spawn cycles as well with Renegades, they were both on pink and carbine. They were only going to spawn top of the base anyway, so they knew that the only way to take it was courtyard. But fantastic plays, but it's just strange how, you know, they never found that opportunity to even try and push in. But one of the things to take from that is more the fact that there wasn't really too much top mid control. It's more just pink and carbine and nothing else. And no one really pushed in from top mid to the flag or to the carbine heights at all.
Yeah, we really didn't see many top center here. And I believe is this going into the full replay now?
It probably will be at this
Yeah,
stage.
it's
We'll have to
definitely not
see.
highlights here. So yeah, we are going into the replay. We'll get an update on exactly how many caps to win for each team, if it's a full replay or not momentarily. But nonetheless, we're off to this one here. 4, we're just down here for Renegades.
Yeah, Renegades, of course, realise their mistakes, but I'm hoping both teams actually realise that, you know, that top mid is so vital, so important. You see Splyce up there literally the whole time. Sometimes it's actually the first thing they do on spawn. And of course, you've got to remember, a lot of these guys are veteran players. Normally the first thing to do is to go to pink side, but as you can see, 3 dead now for Renegades, and this could be EXCELERATE's opportunity now.
Yeah, and we just heard from the back, it will be a full replay here right now. So all 3 flags do need to go home in order to finish off this game quickly. If not, we might be looking at having something very similar once again.
This could be a very long series, much quicker than that last one. And as you saw from there, Renegades were 3 dead, but EXCELERATE had 4 down straight afterwards. And this is what we wanted to see. Finally, APG now has got that top mid control. Normally see it from him or Neptune, but this is a perfect start. And of course, during that 5 minutes of a brief talk, they realised their mistakes and now capitalising on what the situation is.
I mean, and keep in mind, like, how Renegades got here in the first place. Yeah, we saw EXCELERATE kind of get swept pretty hard, but Renegades, they literally could have 3-0 TOX if they had won that game number 2. That was tied at 45-45. Props to Frosty for picking up that W for them there and extending that series, ultimately taking the win.
And this could be the one of the first caps now. As you can see, Penguin, sadly for him, does choke that flag a little bit, but he goes back to Eli anyway with one of his teammates just to try and recover to see the situation. And, you know, we're talking about that top mid control. You've got 2 members of Renegade now, but EXCELERATE managed to flank around Carbine there, and Arctic gets another one of his own. 3 dead now for Renegades. This is EXCELERATE's chance now to get back that map control and to push on.
Now, keep in mind, we didn't see the first 8 minutes or so of play in that series, but judging on this replay here, the Slays are going heavily in EXCELERATE's favor, which did not look like the final 3 minutes of that last game here. So they are definitely turned it around and doing everything they can to take this game number 1 win.
Yeah, with this series as well, especially how Renegades have been playing so far this weekend, we didn't really see it go that far back and forth now, but it's great to see. Of course, this EXCELERATE team is completely different from what we've seen these past 2 days, and, you know, it's great to see a 2K version.
Absolutely here. Now we're on board with Penguin. I think he was possibly the camo player there. Not entirely sure, but it is around that time where we would have seen somebody have that one. Renegade or Penguin picks up that kill, immediately pushing out the P2. But you can see these teams kind of have their gameplay and how they like to treat the map pushing into this. We are heavily seeing Renegades push Carbine side of the base and EXCELERATE just constantly flying up P side. And it's ultimately just reverted in obviously a stalemate.
Yeah, it's quite strange actually, because looking at it now, both teams have the same pace but different styles and different ways on how to do things, you know. Even though some ways it's actually quite passive, but EXCELERATE, you know, I think they're one of those teams where they don't just get 1 down and then go. They want to get at least 2 or 3 down now. And this could be an opportunity now. Renegades, there's 2 of them dead. Arctic's going to take it straight away to that pink side, 3 dead now. And this is opportunity, but EXCELERATE needs to make sure none of them come from that bottom of the base to bottom into flank round or go around that Carbine side.
And we'll see how far he's able to get this flag. It's always a scary moment. He missed that first jump in the base and he misses the second flag grab there. So that's kind of 2 little mishaps on this flag run, but somehow still able to put it in and capture that first flag. And I want to say right now, we still got a lot of time left to play, but should these 2 teams tie again in this capture the flag and overtime has already gone by, the 3rd game will be a first flag capture to win.
Kind of bringing back the Fathom CTF days, you could say, from when we saw a lot of those.
Yeah,
but
actually,
even
that rule was made by Ace and that squad before in that Fathom game. He was one of the members that had, what was it, 4 or 5 replays in a row. I think I was casting that one, and that was an exhausting one.
I can imagine as well. You know, I don't remember last time I did. I think the longest overtime I did was Narrow's Flag, and that was like 45 minutes back in the day. But even on True CTF, you don't really see. You see a lot of stalemates and those bits and pieces, but not many games go to overtime now. But as you can see, EXCELERATE. There's 2 down, but Miquin does get that camo. Yeah,
the real question is do they know that camo was just scrapped? So that flag, obviously, for EXCELERATE gets returned, and wise decision from Miquin. I mean, it was pretty obvious what to do. But you don't want to suicide forward for that flag when camo's coming up, and now you're seeing him reap the rewards.
It's quite strange as well, because Miquin managed to get that uncontested, and 2 of his teammates were already down anyway. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, well, you know, Miquin may get the camo, but I assume it's going to get burned. But at least that way, EXCELERATE won't actually be able to do anything about it. But it seems like this could be a huge pick up here, and as you can see now, Miquin does take another one down. 3 dead now, and this could be Renegade's chance to get that next cap.
Yeah, that flag does get pulled, but a great job by Demon D shutting that down. Picks up that kill on a Mikwin, able to stay alive and get his shields back as well. So now it's the exact opposite. Flag is out, but there was a member down here. Now Penguin going down as well. So consistently back and forth. 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2, and nobody besides that first capture getting any real footing on the ground here.
Yeah, and it seems like EXCELERATE now, even though they're winning, they're getting pushed back so much. The damage dealt from Renegades is absolutely phenomenal, and there seems to be no way for them to even stop this. Neptune, with a nice double of his own, does manage to get traded in the end. But Boo Doo now gets one of his own. Demon D does the exact same, and now 3 dead for Renegades.
Yeah, they know. Last guy alive, APG, he's up in the base. He's doing a great job just buying as much time as he can to allow his teammates to push out. And sure enough, that's exactly what they do. A 4v1 situation has 2 members of Renegades get into P2 before anyone else can push out. And that results in Neptune picking up a triple kill. So that goes and shows you the importance of staying alive and buying that time for your teammates. That was that much additional time that they were not looking for Neptune and they were searching for APG.
And this is a fantastic play here. Neptune didn't go straight to pink side, went underneath the base to make sure that the rest of EXCELERATE do spawn at Carbine. And looking at now, 1-1. Again, seems like it can be a drawing scenario compared to before.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like a quick repeat of what we just saw here. Now, Neptune versus Demon D. Neptune, this is a guy that it does not lose very often in those 1v1 battles. So Demon D wisely backing down. You need to out-teamwork your opponents here. You have any chance of winning. Now we see Ace pushing with that camo, but he has to reload. He misses a few shots, and they are not able to finish off those kills. His teammates do clean up too, but a great flank from Mikwin. Looks like it'll go ahead and clear out the rest of the base.
That was a shame. Ace put so many shots on so many different members of Renegades there, but it just wasn't to be now. And as you can see, it's still very tightly matched. Both teams are starting to be a lot more aggressive compared to that last game. I think they knew that eventually we'll go into overtime again, but it seems like now Penguin does manage to take one, manage to get that pin control once again. And we'll have to see now if he can manage to keep it, but it seems like one of the members of EXCELERATE, Arctic there, managed to get a vital trader to get that pink side of the map, but Mikwin gets 2 of his own.
Oh man, these are some of the most back and forth matches that we've seen all weekend long. If anything, a lot of them have just been kind of stomps and blowouts with the exception of, you know, a Slayer here or there really. But this game, and considering we're already having a replay, don't quote me exactly because I haven't seen all the matches happen in the open bracket, but this is the first replay that we're really watching here on the main stage.
You're probably going to jinx us now, it'll probably be another replay. But looking at this now, we've noticed that EXCELERATE have been kind of doing more control on this Carbine side. You saw Ace earlier put so many shots in, and I think the Renegade members there were kind of not really expecting it. They expected more of the pink side pushes and the Eli pushes, and as you can see now, all 4 members of Renegades now are just waiting for any of those members of EXCELERATE just to try and push in some way, shape or form, but all 4 guys now trying to push in. That's 2v2 scenario. Renegades 3 down. That was going to be a 4th, but Sanifim does get taken down and managed to get cleaned up by Demon D in the end.
And Neptune coming off spawn. EXCELERATE takes just a little bit too long to finish off all 4 members in Demon D as he kills the last guy. Already has the first guy that died come off spawn Carbine, double back to his own base and clear it out once again, just resetting everything they were able to gather.
We've seen Demon D so many times this weekend where when he's the last guy, it's the biggest pain to actually try and deal with. And of course, if you do want that gold red pack, Iron Sights, you're going to put that in on halo.gg. And as you see now, Neptune, with that camo, going to have to try and capitalize in some ways. He's already got Arctic down.
Yeah, and who knows, but all these camos are going over in favor of Renegades. You saw 2 people run up to P2 and nobody even looked below the base. Luckily for them, Booby Dooby will clean up the kill, but Neptune, this guy has been a force this series already. Of course, being a huge impact on that former team not too long ago here. And already, Lethal, we are down to 3 minutes left to play in this. And there's only been 3 flag captures for both teams combined between the 2 games.
See, I told you, jinxed it. I knew it was going to happen straight afterwards, but this is the great thing as well. There's actually no way of separating these guys. On a map like True CTF as well, when it comes to communication in that kind of scenario, you have to listen to every single gunfire and call-out which is going on. And at this point, with it being so open, it's getting so close to this point, but Mikwin now with a nice double there. But it seems like it won't be capitalized from afterwards. But I think that's a triple for Mikwin there. And this could be another cap for Renegades.
And there's 3 people alive. All of them are in the base. The spawns off Carbine. They don't see him push into bottom center. But APG, he flies out the window. There's 2 people still carbine side of the base, and Boo Boo Doo doesn't see the guy bottom center. This flag is so far out with such little time left to play. They have a numbers advantage while pushing this. Mikwin grabs one, Neptune grabs one, and now we are seeing the lead here for Renegades. They executed that flag run very, very well.
There was about 6 people on that carbine side. It was quite a mess, but even then, all the guys from Renegades had such bad height advantage. The EXCELERATE guys were actually in an advantage then, but still managed to take out a couple more. Neptune came from behind, obviously cleaned up, but again, he's still slaying even further here. APG to make sure the defense perfectly fine, but as you can see, 1 minute 45 left, 3 dead for EXCELERATE, and this side is looking very good for Renegades at this stage.
You can see what was first heavily slaying in EXCELERATE's favor towards the end of this game has got flipped entirely, and now you're seeing the full force of Renegades and the amount of firepower they're able to output here in these games. Neptune getting another kill here. APG staying alive, putting so many shots down on the players, and only 1 minute and 20 left to play here. Keep in mind, 2-1 lead. This won't go to overtime, Lethal.
This is right, and of course, in this kind of scenario, some people may say, you know, play defense and try and slam a bit. No, on this kind of game type, you need to keep the pressure on as though it's still a tie, or should you have to go for that win. You've got to imagine there's no time limit. The only way you can do that, you can't just sit back. The only time you should is if you come off spawn, try and get that crossfire, trying to make sure no one could push around or anything like that. But APG there did a fantastic job. 3 down, 4 down now. So it looks like we won't even have to wait for that defense. It looks like they could get that 3rd and final cap.
Yeah, this is the exact position they want to be in as this flag starts running. Demon D loses that battle below the base. At the same time, the rest of his team goes down, and there's not much you can do if the enemy team pushes back, gets set up playing defense on carbine side of the base like you saw APG do, and sure enough, that final flag cap will go in. And now this series is 1-0 lead here for Renegades.
What a change that made, though. You saw, even from straight off the bat, we mentioned before, the top center and top mid, and even the pushes from there wasn't enough of it. But they only had, what, a 5-minute break in between that first and second game? And you saw from there, that brief chat saying we need to do this position, we need to do that position, some of the setups need to be changed. But you could see from them, but literally, at that point, that one change they made just changed the game completely.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another one of those, I've been saying it time and time again, a heartbreaking loss, because you go back and you think about the last final seconds of overtime in that game, and should 2 people have jumped on the flag at the same time, you might have had that faster return as opposed to 2 people separately getting on it. And I don't think anyone really made any huge mistakes there, but they were so close to winning in the final seconds there, and then going into a replay and losing 3-1 after a hot start like they had again. It's going to be hard to just forget about that game and then focus here on game number 2.
Yeah, I think at that point in that first game, right towards the very end, yeah, sure, fair enough. At least you get 2 members to jump on it. It's a bit quicker, then fair enough. But I think it was more the spawn cycle. They weren't really spawning around the same time, and I think with 15 seconds left, you kind of have to use your instinct and just go straight for it, you could say. And I obviously didn't have the manpower or anything like that to try and capitalize any kind of situation. But it was just a shame that during the spawn cycle, I think one spawned around the same time and then the others were just spawning way too far away. So it got to a point where, you know, just have to let things go.
Yeah, and you just saw great decision-making, especially by the first member up on Renegades. A couple times it was Neptune, a few times like Mikwin, APG had some great plays that series as well. Just being able to clear out their base, and you could see, as far as the like the heat maps, where is most of the action taking place? It's definitely heavily in EXCELERATE space. Now, it's hard to break down like that specific game type and who it benefits, but nonetheless, EXCELERATE, they need to forget about that loss now. And that is a very draining map that they just played. That was 27 minutes of gameplay that they just had, of constant back and forth action there. That's nuts to think about.
Yeah, that is a pretty long time to say the least, and you could see from there is that it was quite weird that EXCELERATE, you had a couple of them more pushing carbine side and trying to do more damage from that area, considering how closed off it's compared to that pink side. But I think they just struggled just due to the fact that with Renegades, you always had 2 or 3 members minimum, just trying to at least take that side every single time. And I feel like EXCELERATE just didn't have the numbers, and they just felt like, well, you know what, let's just go to carbine side. Let's just try and see if we can make something happen from there.
I've got my
side. It's been on that on every single Halo, even back from Heretic and Midship. But going into this now, we can have Collie Slay between these 2 teams, but this is one which probably won't be a tie.
Yeah, that is one that you don't necessarily see going to overtime. I think I've only seen 1 Slayer overtime. So overtime does exist in Slayer as well, if you were wondering at home. But one last comment about that game number 1. That game number 1, that CTF on Truth, was longer than some series that we've had played already today.
I think even with that last series, it probably was the longest to definitely say, but I can see from Renegades, Penguin straight away with that snipe, and if you missed it right at the beginning, they managed to get that snipe tower control straight off the bat, and it seems like there wasn't really too much contention there for that sniper. But, you know, 3 or 4 members for Renegades on that snipe tower with Penguin having snipe. You couldn't ask for a better start, really.
And you can see this one, how serious both teams are taking this game already. 3-1 on the scoreboard, and both teams slowing it down, nobody wanting to give up any free deaths.
In this kind of stalemate situation, you'd think it's 49-49, but I love how they've taken it really passive. They've changed their style completely to say, well, you know what, let's wait for that opportunity, because it's very easy to try and get into the swing of things and get a bit too carried away. But as you can see now, you've got 2 members on that fountain, one on open to just try and get information. And the person in cave now, he knows that Penguin will be around that S2 side with snipe. But this is great, though. From Accelerate at this stage, they're not giving it an opportunity, but at some stage, Accelerate will make that vital push to try and get that snipe tile.
Oh, and APG picks up that kill on Demon. As you can see, Penguin spots him jumping over across that silver that, you know, down there by the fountain, I should say, and picks up that kill. So 5-4, so it was 3-1. Like, somehow Accelerate's trying to get back into this. Last guy alive now is Penguin. They did a fantastic job. Booba had rockets in his back pocket. Finally, they'll pick up that kill, and let's see, that goes over to Demon D now.
That was fantastic play. You saw straight from then, they were waiting for that one opportunity, but maybe not just to kill any of the members from Accelerate, but at least get enough damage done. And they went around 3 different areas from that red sign, went through Maze, S3 to S2 to get behind them. And look at it now, what a turn of events. It was like 6-4, and now it's 9-6 at this stage. And of course, Demon D, we've seen what he's like with the sniper, even especially during the Halo 3 days, but now, what a person to give it to.
And great discipline here from Accelerate to do that and to slow the game down and then really bring the heat and bring the aggression when the opportunity arose and not giving up those deaths. Colosseum and some Slayer maps like Regret and other ones, you just see such monstrous swings in the kill count. Like, this team gets 10 and all of a sudden the other team answers back with 15 because of those spawn cycles that you can encounter. And Accelerate is showing that they've really kind of put in the work and put in the effort and have a clear game plan here in this Colosseum game number 2.
That's right, and Renegades at that time, it was 8 unanswered kills. And on a map like this, especially on Collie TS, it's very rare to see now. Ace has been doing a fantastic job with those rockets, and Demon D's been in that cave a very long time. I think even when he switched back, finally he's been taken out. Mikwin managed to win that duel there, but at this stage, Accelerate now, 2 down, and Mikwin with that sniper, and he's definitely one of the last people you don't want to see with that sniper.
Yeah, I would like to see Demon D waste that ammo there. That was a 1v1 he was kind of committing to with that pistol instead of wasting that ammo. Now, he gets a good opportunity. Mikwin was changing weapons right as he jumped up. You don't get much luckier than that, but he actually picks up and secures the kill. And Mikwin just delivered a sniper right back to him with multiple shots left. Oh, and he picked up the fresh ammo.
What a time to do that as well. So they had the sniper round for 2 minutes the entire time. Sorry, 2.5 minutes at that stage. But Demon, fantastic sniper there. Arctic just may take down another one. It's still 2 down for Renegades. It's a perfect opportunity, but Demon knows to just hold back, leave it be for the second. But Renegades now need to be careful. Need to try and change their style a little bit, trying to find an opportunity like Accelerate did at the start.
This is really interesting. Leaving Snipe side, I don't know if he knew there all these players were spawning at red base, now pushing up into red. I don't think either team really know where the other one is right now.
It was like all 8 members did a ring around the roses pretty much. Like, all of them went from, from flag to snipe, and a fantastic snipe there by Demon there. Straight up to back, trying to go for that double, but sadly, one of the members will be hiding. Neptune does get taken down anyway. But this is Demon's perfect chance to increase their lead.
Yeah, we'll see how Renegades decides to treat this one. They clearly are looking. You can see those player outlines on your screen. They're all moving over towards that sniper side of the map. These 2 teams especially, they've been grouping and rotating as a unit. We saw that in that first game, the Carbine versus Pink side, the flip of the map, or the split of the map, I should say, and then the flip of the map that we see here. Demon D on that rotation connects on 2. He was at sniper, ran below red with 2 people above his head, brings the sniper to elbow, picks up a kill, brings it to blue, keeping the enemy team guessing.
This is like 09 Demon D right now, considering the circumstances we're seeing in. And even though the whole of Accelerate gave up that snipe tower, they're more than happy to, due to the fact that they can get it back at any time if Demon D manages to take out any members for the snipe. But it will be looking open side. Does manage to do some damage to one member, but it looks like they're actually struggling to trying to find an answer to this. He's been doing damage left, right, and center, and he's been doing some great rotation work.
Yeah, we'll see how this sniper gets treated. He has 1 shot left, definitely wants to use it, almost connects. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do so. So a 3-kill game as we hit that 50-point mark here, really, or halfway through the game. Still, same with the time on the clock as we head down to the bottom of 6 minutes here. No power weapons really in anyone's hands, but a big battle that Penguin comes out ahead on. And a good collapse here comes out from Ace and Booba to sandwich him there in the cave.
This is one thing I want to see as well. Renegades has been playing really, really aggressively the entire time, trying to not give Accelerate an opportunity to even try and set up one way or another. And that's why Demon D earlier with the snipe had to make so many different rotations to try and get some decent angles. But I actually can see now, Accelerate managed to lose that snipe tower quite easily. Renegade, one member go from maze to grass now. That will get taken out eventually, and another member going on the outskirts. But it seems like Accelerate doing a fantastic job. They had a big lead. Renegades did a fantastic job catching up, but it seems like Accelerate are just, again, just increasing it further.
Yeah, and Ace grabs a kill. Boobadoopoo picks up one. Great job by Arctic not to shoot that rocket, to switch to carbine, put a couple shots down. Had he shot that rocket in and not done any damage, he's putting Ace in a bad position to follow up on that kill. One shot can be so important, not only for winning that battle and picking up that kill, but then going into your next fight. Do you have time to thrust away, or are you just going to get picked off instantly?
And Arctic has been doing such a great job. He was on the open side the entire time, dealing so much damage from the rocket side to snipe. But look at him now, straight away with that killing spree. He's trying to get another one on that maze side, but gets a double of his own anyway. Got two more members of Renegades. See if they can try and flank round, but Arctic, he's shot with that carbine now, just giving him no nonsense and no opportunity to even try and get a kill on.
Ooh, and Arctic, he's just getting collapsed all around. Pushes in. Maybe should have tried to run away there, but, definitely just not on the same page as the squad right there. And what we saw momentarily ago is the largest lead of the game, being at 6 kills, and that's not very big to consider, what the last game was like.
Yeah, this is Renegade's opportunity now to at least try and hold this setup and at least try and do something about it. But it seems like they gave up straight away. Neptune does get taken, take an Arctic there, but at this kind of scenario, Renegades, they need to try and get the snipe tower back. The lead now, 7 kills, and it seems like there's not really too much they can do, but it seems like Accelerate's gone from really passive to really aggressive, trying to play Renegade style, but it seems like they're doing it just that little bit better.
Yeah, and you can see lots of action going on. Demon D does get cleaned up by Neptune, but a great time buying additional ability for Arctic to come in and finish that one off. So like we said, still 7 kills, a good position to be on for Accelerate, but by no means over at all. These leads can disappear so quickly here. 2 dead for Accelerate, 1 for Renegades. Neptune just grabbed himself that double kill.
And this next rocket spawn is definitely going to be the turning point here. If Renegades manage to somehow get it and try and flank around with it, this could be their perfect opportunity. But we'll have to see which team will bait it. Of course, Accelerate, I'd assume they would try and bait it first because they're in the lead. They have to, it's more Renegades are the ones who need to try and go for it to try and make some kind of improvement. But as you can see now, 2 members of Accelerate do try and make something of this, but Neptune doing so much damage, and as you can see now, APG did manage to clean up, but Demon D now, these rockets have been up for nearly half a minute now. No team has been able to get the opportunity to try and grab it and get away.
Yeah, look at APG just trying to do everything he can to stay alive. He's got Demon D coming after him. He's got another player top catwalk shooting. Finally, the grenade comes in from Boobadoopoo. 1 kill left to win this game and tie up this series here for Accelerate. Demon D grabs those rockets, immediately running them away. It's so important to keep these out of Renegade's hands as that collapse comes in. Arctic grabs the final one, and we're all tied up.
That was it was just weird at the end because with Renegades, you had 3 members on that open side and 1 person on bridge. You would have thought that at some stage they'll be able to grab him and get away, but Demon D was all on his own on that open side, but he had so much cover from that snipe side, they gave him an opportunity to grab it and finish things off. Yeah,
that was another nail-biter game. Of course, for Accelerate, got to get the biggest cushion of the game right towards the end, but that passed all the way to the 40-kill mark, which just neck and neck here. So game number 3 after a 1-1 series. Could be our first game 5 we're seeing today.
Yeah, we could be, and it was just strange because Renegades had a really good start, had that full snipe control, and I think they were just like how it was just strange where Accelerate just decided to play so passive, treat it as though it's game 5 in a 49-49 kind of scenario, and you saw it actually worked. They thought to themselves, well, we don't need to get someone killed or anything like that, just get the damage done on at least one of the members, so that way you've got the opportunity to try and push on the other 3, and by the time the other member doubles back, it might be too late.
Yeah, I mean, they brought it within 4. I mean, I think it was 45-41 at one point during towards the end of that game, so it's neck and neck. And go back to the beginning and talk about deaths and free deaths and, slowing the game down and, setting the pace here. It was 3-1 when Renegades had full control and sniper rifle. And they weren't able to capitalize with those kills. But those are the times where you want to build your lead, where you want to get comfortable, lead there, so you're not having to worry about a single death or a 50-49 game. And then another opportunity was the Demon D play. He had sniper and turned it over, kind of a mistake, but then got it right back on his next life himself, pushing in and collapsing there. So that was you know, maybe there were some mistakes made and some plays where, you know, we see people throw the snipers off much more often, but we didn't see that at all in this series here when the opportunity actually did exist to do so. Mickwin, I think it was Mickwin, whoever was sitting on that sneaky ledge over there by the sniper with full ammo, actually more than full ammo, because I think they had one shot left in that old sniper.
Yeah.
He could have thrown that off the map, and Demon got 5 or 6 kills there. That is a big swing. That's probably the biggest swing that we saw in that game.
That was a big no-no, really, in all fairness. And, you know, I've seen some ring around the rosies in my time, Carl, but it's just quite funny how normally you sit between 2 players, not between 8 players, though. It's a bit of a strange one. I don't think I've even seen it in Halo 5 to this stage, but it's just weird because, you know, and that kind of point as well, just a point to make, you know, when you give up snipe side, you want to at least have some kind of power weapon control, so if anything does happen, you can gain it back, and you saw Demon Deep then as well. But now, as you can see with this Planet Strongholds game, we have to see if Renegades might gain some kind of comeback.
Yeah, and as you can see, first kill goes over to Accelerate, but Renegade answers right back with 2 of their own, so that overshield looks like did just get burnt here. APG picks up a very big double kill here for his team, and I think that should guarantee them here the bottom mid stronghold and yard over to Accelerate. But no, I was actually spoken wrong there. Looks like, oh no, it did go to them. Okay, I was right.
You're always right, it's fine. I'll never try and prove you wrong in any way, but as you can see now, Accelerate do try and get that bottom mid. Managed to do so anyway,
Whoa.
but as you can see now, he's going to try and back off, but 2 members do go on driveway. Sadly, don't get picked off, but Mickwin now is going to push in anyway, and as you can see, Accelerate were in a really bad spot there. 3 members of Renegades had great height advantage, but still 2 down, and this is a perfect chance to try and increase their lead.
All right, now this is a lot of pressure on Arctic. He was the last guy alive, got his teammates to spawn over there towards Nest, but he immediately goes down with some great grenades here by APG. So that collapse is coming in. Boobadoo, great job dodging 2 of them, pushes out, needs to grab this kill and comes out ahead. Great job there to buy his team some more breathing room to keep that, not letting Renegades have that big numbers advantage and start those collapses.
But this is the thing though, Penguin with the shotgun is going to try and do as much work as he can. And you can see he's just waiting for the opportunity. This is the perfect spot. If I want to be anywhere with that shotgun, it will be the light rifle area, just due to the fact that there's so many different openings and there's so many different ways to try and just get away if you're in a bad situation. But that was a great example. Sadly for him, does get taken down, but APG does manage to trade anyway.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you have to do being a good team is you have to be able to finish off the kills because it's so easy to stay alive and escape and get help from your teammates. So it's really about coordinating and finishing off kills and not giving people the opportunity to run around, play ring around the rosy, pick up some no-scopes, a ninja, something like that. You need to be able to finish off people very effectively. 3 dead here for Renegades, and looks like we should be seeing those strongholds change, but as soon as I say it, the spawns at the top of the blue ramp, some great shots by APG. They pick off one of the kills, and sure enough, it still does go over to Accelerate, but how long will they be able to hold it now?
But look at this push from Renegades, and 3 members in sync. Straight away getting that damage done, but it's like you said before, when they spawn blue, it's very, very difficult to try and get that aim on, especially if they're looking straight at you on that spawn trap. But they're hiding behind the pillar, they're trying to do as much as they can, but Mickwin now is just getting so much damage done and just being a complete pain around that tram site. But it looks like now, eventually, doesn't get taken down still there, will come behind to see if they can finish off Penguin, but it looks like he's left him and Penguin will come from behind anyway.
Yeah, and it looks like Ace and Demon D were doing a great job working together. Ace, instead of finishing off the kill on driveway, wants to push yard and pick off the kill to stop the stronghold. Unfortunately, does not pan out. They do not get the kill on driveway, and the yard still switches hands. So that was something you might have wanted that one back.
And I think the camera guy there literally just barely managed to survive. He was contesting that bar mid-hill for such a long time. And after there, fantastic nade going into the blue window. And you can see if he does find another, managed to pick him off in the end. Penguin does get taken down and managed to get a double of his own, so that's 3 dead now for Renegades. And this is an opportunity to maybe get a trip cap, possibly.
We're seeing a lot of aggression from Accelerate that we have not seen this weekend here. They had 2 strongholds, and they immediately pushed into blue, grabbed a kill. You saw Arctic kill Penguin as he was trying to push into the yard. And once again, that's another triple cap. They haven't held either triple cap for any significant amount of time, but you can tell their game plan. They don't want to set up with 2 and play defense. They want to keep collapsing, keep numbers advantage, and keep pushing for all the strongholds.
You can see from that push from Arctic earlier, almost getting that triple as well. It's one of the most biggest talking points there. But we had 2 points already. We haven't seen any trip caps at this game apart from that one. But with that increase of lead, we can see Renegades have got a tall order to try and make some kind of comeback. But at the moment, Accelerate, they're stuck in blue in yard, trying to figure out a way to try and get Mickwin to try and get taken down on the S4, but it's a real struggle at this point.
Yeah, and Boobadooboo, he's just taking no shield left and right here, fighting Mickwin, top of the nest, even jumps out and challenges that. Maybe that's what he wanted to do, as Ace got one of the kills, but he does finish off one of those, and Arctic picks up and cleans up the kill. Last 3 guys, though, all of them charging over to Nest. Arctic does a great job dodging the grenade and completely outplays Neptune. Fantastic job by Arctic to take out the new young gun.
Yeah, that's very rare to see that from Neptune as well. And you saw Mickwin earlier. 3 of his members of his team were dead, but he still took that damage dealt down around Hotel and Blue and managed to keep his team alive as long as possible, just to delay things further so the rest of his team come on spawn and try and get those points across. But Accelerate again, getting the control of bottom mid and Nest right now, and it seems like they're just going further and further. They haven't really found an answer to try and capitalise. They're just increasing their lead, but Mickwin there doing some great damage, but Neptune gets a double of his own, and we'll have to see if he can stay alive now. Managed to get another one on driveway, perfect 5 on Ace for Mickwin to get that bottom mid control.
That was a big win. That actually secured him that bottom mid stronghold, picking up those 2 kills there, and actually assisting on another one. So buying his team time, this one's kind of looking like it's coming down to be another close one. The last Plaza Slayer we watched was 100-0, and now we're seeing Mickwin really start to turn it on. He killed Ace on driveway and then got him again as he spawned bottom nest. So that is literally taking one player and putting him on respawn for almost 15 seconds.
I just love how I was saying, well, you know what? Renegades are struggling a little bit to find an answer to stop increasing Accelerate's leads. What happened? They get a trip gap anyway, but you can see from there that 2 members of Accelerate were trapped in S1 after spawn, and there's no way of getting out now, but Boobadooboo now with that shotgun again. This could be the turning point now. 20-point difference between both teams. And at this stage, Boobadooboo, as well as having that shotgun and making sure anyone comes close range between it, gets taken down anyway. So that could be a crucial kill there. And Arctic with that double to turn things around here.
Yeah, that would have said something if he was able to pick up that kill. That would have been monstrous for the team here. But nonetheless, he gets taken out. That shotgun is down. Looks like Mickwin's going to put that in his big back pocket, and we see exactly how effective he can be with this. This is somebody that you need to keep those power weapons out of his hands. But at the very same time, there's so much action and attention being put on Tram and over here in the loop that Accelerate was able to grab all 3 strongholds once again.
Yeah, and as you can see, Mickwin's going to come from behind here. Just manages to take him down, does lose that shotgun sadly, which is very vital at this point, but there's only 12 points remaining coming up for Accelerate. But as you can see, with that camo play, this could be the final moments.
Yeah, excuse me, I wasn't even paying attention. Totally missed that camo there, and Boobadooboo was able to secure it. He knew exactly what was going on here. Ace grabs himself a double kill in that kill feed. You can see Arctic makes it a 3rd one. Last guy alive, Mickwin getting double teamed, grabs himself 1 kill. Actually, make that 2. That's something you can't let happen. Luckily for them, though, this is coming down till the end of the game. As long as Boobadooboo can clutch it up, buy some time here, it's looking like a 2-1 lead in this series. And we've actually seen him do that before. He was the original guy that sat bottom mid with camo with 3 players around him, not shooting at anyone, buying time to close out the game.
Yeah, that was fantastic play. Of course, now, great comeback as well. They managed to keep that lead throughout the whole time, considering the situation, the scenario Renegades were in, and it's quite interesting because with that camo, the reason why I said it's the final moments because there's only 10 points left. There's already a few members of Renegades down, and all you need to do was, you know what, if a few members of Accelerate were down anyway, you can just sit bottom mid with camo and just chill there until the game ends, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not moving with camo, it is so much harder to spot that player than when you are, especially when the Strongholds bottom center. You have to be concerned of all the other players on the team coming at you from either S4, pushing out of the flowers, being top golden yard. There's so many different directions you have to look at. You don't often see the guy that is directly in front of your face. They say sometimes the closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm.
That is true, and of course, you saw with S4 there, Mickwin did such a great job. It just shows that even if you're the last guy alive and you still got all 4 members from the opposite team, that's where you can still do the damage. But look at that Boobadooboo there. It was obviously 12 kills, 13 assists, and 8 deaths. Some crazy stuff from him. But to be fair, in terms of the slaying department and the stats, all very similar. No one really stands out positive or negative in that stature.
Yeah, I mean, and it was only within 2 kills as far as the total slays go, and assists over to Renegades. So a 100-51 victory when the stat board was that close is actually kind of surprising. I would have expected this game to be a little bit closer, but it kind of looked like, even though we saw more assists from Renegades, it looked like the teamwork was better for Accelerate. It comes back to mind was when Mickwin had that shotgun and you really thought he was about to get things going. He jumped out, picked up 1 kill, and he might have gotten shot by all 3 members of Accelerate immediately following that.
Yeah, there were so many different turnarounds as well. I've never seen a series where between 2 teams it's just flipping on its head back and forth so many times. Well, I thought to myself, well, it might just be true CTF and then we'll have to see how it goes from there. But this is going to be an interesting one now. Of course, with Echelon Ball, we'll have to see exactly how things go. But one thing I want to take into account is that so with these top teams, before at the last event, we didn't really see too many setups. It was quite premature, but I want to see exactly how both these teams set up when they get the ball and how they counter it afterwards.
Well, it's pretty easy to say that this opening strategy goes over to Renegades, as all 4 members were just down, but they all come over spawn, you know, over towards the pizza and jump up, get 1 kill. Arctic makes that a second one, and even though Rockets found their hands into APG, numbers are back over here to Accelerate, and they dodge that first rocket. Only 2 do you ever get when you grab those rockets, so each one being so crucial to hit effectively.
Yeah, and on a map like this, it's so easy to try and get damage done as much as you can. There's so many close range situation at that point, but at this moment in time, as you said before, Renegades with a fantastic start, and this could be their final game, depending on how well EXCELERATE play here. But APG sadly does get taken down by Arctic there, but Arctic, at the start of the day, didn't have the best of shots. Maybe just wasn't warmed up or prepared enough, but it seems like after a few more games going into today, he seems to be more on form.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've had Ace playing in the, you know, like in the finals, Boobadooboo playing in the finals, D playing in the finals, Arctic and Nola, that was his highest placing he's ever had. And this tournament as well in London might be the highest he's ever had. So he's definitely the least experienced member of this team, the one where nerves might be the biggest factor.
Yeah, that's right. I think even in that first series, I couldn't really tell if it was nerves or was it more the fact that, you know, with some players, you can tell if their pistol's not really that warm in that kind of stage, depending on the situation. But as you've seen, Ace does have a ball in hand. Renegades are up by 20 seconds, but Ace is going to try and milk as much time as he can, and will try and hide on pipes. Does get taken down eventually. And that was a very quick flank from the Renegades.
Yeah, and a great play ball, because you've seen how badly a missed play ball can come back and bite you. But actually, you know, the more I think about it, all 3 of those guys are actually tournament winners, not just playing in the finals here. So, you know, big props to the experience and the resume among this squad.
And one thing I want to see now from both these teams is that I want to see some of these setups and how they try and increase their time. I think we heard from a couple of players is the fact that on these kind of maps, especially on the Echelon, is the fact that when you do get the ball, if you've got 2 teams which are very similar in skill, you normally, the biggest amount of time you see is between 25 to the 50-second mark, just due to the fact that it's so easy and so many routines and so many routes to actually take to try and get that counter touch and try and go for the ball. But with a lot of these setups, it's going to be sometimes more about rotation and sometimes more about the structure. But so far, it's been more about the rotation to this stage.
Oh, and we'll see Mikwen. He's in a battle. Does a great job dropping the ball, buying time. Penguin and APG come up, clean up 2 kills, allowing Mikwen to grab that once again and start creating one of the biggest leads that we've seen so far in this game. And then as far as everything on the map goes, Camo goes over to APG. That last set of rockets went over. It might have been Mikwen, but nonetheless, someone on Renegades got that. And now they are starting to bring the hurt here. Luckily, Boobadooboo, he cleans up that kill, and that was Camo players, so this is exactly what they need to get back into it.
Yeah, it's just a shame really, because they did manage to take out the Camo player, but at that time, APG's Camo pretty much run out. He did what he had to do and helped Renegades get this 30-second lead, and it's been quite a bit of a struggle. Normally on ball, on this map, you normally see the ball go around the rocket area, and then you'll get a couple of players top mid and some on that top deck to make sure they get enough information for the rest of the team to decide exactly where to rotate with the ball. But they've not really been given the opportunity. As you can see, a lot of them have been pushing around rockets straight off the bat, but the ball guy needs to make sure to try and feed that information as much as he can, but definitely been back and forth.
Yeah, and you can see that flank, rather than coming from over near the Pelican, it's coming from the opposite end over towards Rockets. You can see them push out. 2 members go down, balls over there by the Pelican. Great play by Demon, trying to buy some time. APG will clean that up, but Arctic gets sandwiched. That's going to be 2 dead here for Accelerate. Ball being grabbed for Renegades once again.
And as you can see now, they will try and get some kind of setup going around that blue side. They do notice that Accelerate do have those rockets, and this could be very crucial for them at this stage to try and destroy the setup as much as they can. But you have got one member around that Pelican area, does get flanked and capsized straight away. So we'll have to see exactly how they go. But Penguin with his camo, this could be their one time and one chance to kill that ball guy, try and get a setup going, maybe to see if they can get any more kills to try and help the situation. But Penguin now is just really being a pain with that camo, and no one can really do anything about it at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, Arctic, he's not going to be able to get this kill by himself there. He doesn't even see the player as he runs by. Doesn't get the melee off, so then it's going to leave it up to Ace to have to try to clean this up. Sure enough, he does finish that off, but his back has to be turned to another player, immediately pushes out, grabs a kill here. So Demon D, luckily, he got that last set of rockets, and that kind of really saved them from getting any more significant chunks of time down. And finally, we'll see, now that Accelerate has gained control, how much time will they be able to get here?
This is very scary. Renegades have had 2 camos in a row, but look at the score. It's still neck and neck at this stage. It's only a 16-point difference. And one thing to take into account is that if they're getting these camos and still it's very, very similar, what happens if EXCELERATE get one of these camos? They could easily increase their leads and take control and maybe even take this game.
Great stick here comes out from Penguin. Really has nowhere to go, no other options at hand, but still able to connect on that sticky. Demon D cleans up that kill with the melee. Like you pointed out, still a very close game within 20 points. Plenty of time left to play on the clock. Ace needs to pick up this kill. Sure enough, will grab it. That's 2 dead. So this is a 4v2. They need to kill these last 2 guys and stay alive here.
It's quite funny as well. We haven't seen either team take a huge chunk of time. It's been milking it here and there, going for those rotations. Both teams have not given each other a chance to even get some form of setup. It's like I mentioned before, normally see it's maps like Fissure where you see more rotation than setups, but in this map, it's more about the structure, but there's barely been any structure. All these members of both these teams have been going by instincts just to try and capitalize here.
Oh, and look at that score, Lethal. It is getting very, very close as we are all tied up. 2-1 lead for EXCELERATE. Keep in mind, this is not a best of 7. We are still best of 5s here. And they are taking the very first lead of the game right when the new rockets come up and go in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo.
What a perfect opportunity to get those rockets, especially with the position he was in. Does manage to almost get 2 of his own, which he does. And at that stage, you saw he had perfect flanks from Renegades there. But look at this again, increasing their lead further. And it's going to be really hard here. 2 down for Renegades, 1 just spawned. But now there's 2 down for EXCELERATE. They have to play ball at some point. But sadly, for Boo Boo Doo Boo, he doesn't. Miquin does take him down, a vital kill there from him.
Yeah, but what happened to that last camo? I'm not sure if it got burnt or not. Hopefully for EXCELERATE it did, because they have not had a great time on that one so far this game. Now, as you can see, that ball is down, but Renegades clearly in control and set up here. There's some big 1v1s about to happen, and sure enough, Boo Boo Doo Boo grabs one, Arctic another one. Miquin cleans up a kill. Last guy alive is going to be a Penguin. Can he get anything here? No, he gets taken out by Ace, so they will be able to grab the ball and start putting more time here on the clock.
This is the perfect opportunity now to end this game. Get at least another 20 or 30 seconds on that ball to try and stop things. There was 2 or 3 dead for Renegades at the time, but Miquin keeps him in it, gets 1 down here. But there's still a couple here. They still got ball, and at the moment, there's 20-second lead here, 19, sorry. But as you can see now, Ace managed to take 1 down, but look at this, EXCELERATE 3 down. This is Renegades' opportunity to turn things around here.
And I just want to point out, if we have enough time, Ace's decision-making to go for that kill. He had 2 players in front of him. He had shots on the back of 1, but was getting a call out he had to up. That there's another player, no shields at all. The scariest thing you can do is try to finish off a kill that has shields when the no shield player jumps out and puts 1 or 2 into you as well, and all of a sudden you walk away with nothing. So, pretty interesting decision to make that. That comes from years and years and years of experience.
This is turning out to be one of the craziest ball games of this weekend. As you see now, again, Renegades with that ball time, trying to close the gap.
The 3rd rockets.
Yeah, the perfect rocket there from Arctic to stop him. Managed to get a double in the end. Penguin does manage to get that trade, but look at this now. 3 down for Renegades.
And there was no play ball there. That's so crucial, because if you go back to New Orleans, EXCELERATE, they lost because of a play ball on Eden. That didn't happen in some of those games. Great grenade comes in from Ace. We are coming down to the very end. 150 points to win. Numbers advantage still to EXCELERATE. Big battle happening. Ace, this might be the first camo they've even had. Oh, he doesn't connect on the melee, though. APG goes huge. Penguin grabs himself a double, including a ball beatdown, and this is coming down to the wire.
Ace really had to get that trade. It was 3 down at the time for EXCELERATE, and now again, closing the gap. There's only 3 seconds between it, but sadly for Neptune, does manage to get taken down, does trade, with Arctic. But look at this now, Miquin the ball. But this could be the game for Renegades and may even go to a game 5.
Yeah, he runs the ball away and nobody from EXCELERATE is in position. He only needs 3 more seconds. He's getting shot at. No, oh, they clean it up at 149. The ball is a play ball. They just have to grab it once. Arctic gets taken out. APG going huge with a double. You can see there's 2 members about to go for that ball, and they get it. They aren't able to finish it off with that melee, and that is about as close as it can get here as we head into a game number 5.
Well, I'm not going to lie. That was a crazy game for back and forth, but, it's like I mentioned before, with that true CTF game, I think even from the very beginning of this series, we knew it was going to be back and forth, neck and neck between both of these teams. But I did say at one point as well, with EXCELERATE, if they do get that 1 camo, might be able to turn things around, and they did, but sadly for them, Renegades did so well with the collapse, so well with his control, and that one vital play ball, which they didn't do, really cost them that time.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been play balls by both ends, but Renegades comes out ahead. That camo not put to use like they needed to be. And taking a look at the stats, yeah, it doesn't surprise me one bit. APG, 23-13. Mickwin, he had himself an overkill that game. Penguin, towards the end of that game, had a double kill, including a ball beatdown. So not only is he getting kills, but he's getting seconds and time at the exact moment there. And with its 150 to 135, it's honestly one of the closest games I've seen in Echelon. Generally, they're much more kind of blowouts. But that is a game being heavily outslayed for, EXCELERATE being heavily outslayed by Renegades, but still coming down all the way to the wire. So, EXCELERATE, they can't be feeling too good about that one because they know how close they were to closing out this series. And Renegades can tell you better than anybody what happens when you let one game slip by.
Yeah, it just proves it all in all, and it's quite funny as well because Renegades faced laning quite well, but still didn't get really that much of a lead in comparison. And they did so much work, but one of the other talking points where is APG straight away, right at the very end, had to get that crucial second kill for the double to take him out bottom blue. And by then, all he had to do is 1 second on the clock, and that was literally it. He had to pick up the ball, go bottom mid, and take game 4 from there.
Yeah, and it's that Renegades one game slips by. Literally kills, just moments, and really just one camo away yesterday from 3-0ing TOX and finding themselves in the winners finals. So now they are on the verge of elimination. Both of these squads now, EXCELERATE and Renegades, as we go into game number 5. And like we said, or I said it a minute ago, this might be the very first game number 5 we see here today, and sure enough, that is what is in store. And did we do predictions for this one? I don't think we did,
but I'm pretty sure if we did, we probably would have said Renegades, depending on, well, you never know, you could have been biased towards your brother.
I would have been biased. I mean, I wanted to be biased day one and go EXCELERATE all the way, but I mean, reciprocity. You saw how well they were playing. I should have stuck with them through the optic. Through the TOX. Dan was the only one that kind of went out there and did that, so I'm definitely salty about that one, but this is coming down to the wire. You can see both these teams here on your squad. So much at stake. So many nerves here on the line. And, keep in mind, Maniac, Optic members coaching this EXCELERATE squad, former teammates of APG. There is so much history between everyone on these two squads.
Yeah, there's so many veterans on this team going into this final game and even in this series. But as you can see now, Boo Boo Doo with that camo. One of the most crucial points in. If he gets that snipe, this could be a fantastic start, but one of the members of the Renegades managed to catch him out there, but what a fantastic play. He could have easily taken that snipe to try and get away, but he played it super safe, super casual, but look at this. Could have gone the assassination, does get some damage done, sadly doesn't get taken out, but look at this though, he's finding a perfect opportunity to try and get some flanks in here.
Yeah, he is just trying to make sure he can keep the other team guessing, make sure Renegades is constantly checking their backs, looking for where he might have gone, and only shooting and committing when it's absolutely safe to do so and necessary. Great job by Arctic helping with that kill. Keep in mind, he doesn't have much ammo left. He ran out of ammo. That's the second time we've seen someone from EXCELERATE have the camo and run out of ammo, just trying to do a little too much here. And Ace, we talked about this before, playing that sniper rifle, and finally, we will see that happen. Very wise decision when you know you're going up against the likes of Mickwin and Penguin. APG, of course, having that overkill the other day.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play. A lot of discipline from Ace there. Normally when you're jumping off for the snipe for a few seconds and then you don't get shot at, it's very, very easy to turn around and basically just try and see if you can actually keep it for a bit longer. But no, he had a very quick look, went straight back, and then as you can see from there, it was perfectly fine. But Boo Boo Doo there, straight away got 2 kills with that scanner, but APG got a crucial trade there to manage to close things out.
And of course, we've got a platinum rec pack coming in. Rig, rail, gun. Make sure you redeem that over at Halo GG to redeem all your rec packs. And of course, platinum ones are going to be better than gold, so make sure you go enter that here. Now, Boo Boo Doo Boo, he had the last camo. We've got the next camo getting ready to come up. APG trapped, no health, with scattershot bottom mid. He gets taken out. It's a 3v3 situation. Looks like the spawners here for Renegades are going to be over towards that carbine side of the map, with the bunker, of course, going over to EXCELERATE. But there's a lot of aggression coming in and players dropping for EXCELERATE, and that camo has just popped.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the turning point here. Boo Boo Doobie did okay with the camo, got the damage done, but no one was able to clean things up at all, and it was a real struggle there. And that scatter shot as well, it's not really been put to good use. It's funny as well because that first scatter shot's been around since the start of the game, and it just shows that, you know, not many people have had the opportunity to use it here.
Yeah, Demon D, he grabs himself 1 kill, but a couple of members, 3 members to be exact, go down for Accelerate, and that camo finds its way over in the hands of Penguin, 18-12, the largest lead of the game we're seeing in this game number 5, and they are starting to look a little bit sloppy here as that backsmack comes in onto Boo Boo Dooboo, which opens the door for a collapse and those big kill swings that we've seen so often here in Halo 5.
This is Renegade's opportunity to close things out even further, increase their lead, just flip the map, kill as much as you can with that camo. But as you can see, the last member alive in that bunker area earlier did a fantastic job to staying alive, just making sure they kept him at bunker side as much as possible so they don't flip the map. But it doesn't matter. Mikwin had that camo anyway, but to be fair, he didn't manage to get 1 assassination, didn't manage to close out another, but Arctic now with that snipe. This could be the one time to try and make that comeback.
God, did you just see him stay alive? Doubles back underneath a player as his teammates finishes off the kill. Staying alive, trying to waste that sniper ammo now, gets some of it out. Demon D trying to finish off that kill on Penguin. Sure enough, grabs it. 2v2 situation. Sniper still down over here at Nest. 25-19, about 30 seconds before we're going to see this camo come back up. As far as weapons go, everyone's got pistols except for Boo Boo Dooboo with that DMR, so we'll see Arctic as he pushes into Rail 2. He's got player outlines all around him now. What will he be able to get going here?
This is going to be a very messy camo pickup coming up in the next 30 seconds. APG now needs to try and find a way to stop them from going for that camo. He is, of course, around that nest side to see what he can do, but as you can see, 2 members dead for Accelerate. So this could be another opportunity for Renegades to try and increase that lead. So Mikwin there managed to clean up. APG does have that scuttle shot, just barely misses him. And now we've got 3 members of Accelerate down that long haul to see if they can at least try and make some kind of comeback here.
Yeah, and you can see APG only had 1 shot in that sniper and put it to use perfectly. The largest lead again now at 9 kills as that camo comes up. Mikwin able to grab it, not taking any damage, escapes unscathed here. So this is scary. The second camo once again going over in the hands of Mikwin, and the rig, maybe this just isn't Accelerate's game that they wish they saw for a game number 5. They needed to close this out in the last game.
Yeah, I think they've started to realise now, but even though that was the 3rd camo in a row for Renegades, managed to get taken out straight away. So Accelerate aren't actually out as of yet, but they did a fantastic flank there to see if anything else he can do. Maybe got a little bit overzealous to try and clean up a little bit further, but it doesn't matter now. It's now the scatter shot in the hands of them. But at this stage, as you can see, 2 more members of Renegades does manage to take him down. There's a 9-kill difference here, and Accelerate here have to try and change something up quick before it all ends here.
Yeah, I know. You see 9-kill lead. Roughly, I think 10 has been the highest we've really seen. And, you know, you saw what they were able to do on that Colosseum Slayer, kind of really slow down the pace of the game, only be aggressive and push when they absolutely had to. And now this is a good collapse coming in here. They take out 2. This is the time you need to keep the aggression, pick up the numbers advantage. Demon D cleans up 1. Penguin, last guy alive over there towards Rail 1. You can see they're on their hunt. They are looking for him, but he does a great job just buying time here.
And look at this, 9-kill difference now gone to 5. You had 3 members of Accelerate from Whitehall and Tower 2, just going back and forth trying to clean up. But look at this, Renegades have no height advantage whatsoever. They're all around Engine 1, Engine 2, 1 in Whitehall, but you know, they're doing a good job of staying alive here, but for how long?
Yeah, and you can see tons of action here. Lots of people all around BR base just constantly moving around. But Renegades are the ones that are really coming out ahead. That sniper rifle is up. That camo is a few seconds away from spawning again. And Ace, he really wants to come out ahead. He's got no help coming in from his teammates, and he's got Mikwin right in front of him here.
Oh, sadly, doesn't get that trade or even manage to finish off Mikwin there, but Demon D now, this is his one opportunity to try and at least make some kind of comeback here. He can either stay for a little bit longer, try and clean up a few kills here and there around Whitehall, but at some stage he needs to get back to that carbine side because or else he will get trapped around Nest.
Yeah, and Demon D, you can see he had 2 players in front of him but wasn't able to grab either kill. He's taking a lot of damage, and there is a position, Mikwin, to jump up and try to finish him off. Sure enough, he got that last camo, and they brought it within 5, but these camos are killing them right now. Demon D's got that sniper. If he no-scopes this, they could buy themselves some hope, but how often does that happen?
That is true, and 4 camos in a row for Renegades. It's definitely been a talking point here. Every single time Accelerate managed to try and make a slight comeback, those camos have been keeping Renegades in it and increasing the lead again and again, and it's a shame, really. They just haven't had enough prep going for these camos. Renegades do such a good job setting up for them every single time.
Yeah, down by 10 once again with only 7 kills left to go for Renegades to move on and face Splyce in the next round here. We will see most likely another camo as EXCELERATE and realizes, okay, we can no longer give up any deaths here. We need to set up and wait to play around objectives on the map, and that next objective is going to be camo.
That's right, and of course, if it does get that 5th camo in a row for Renegades, that will be the end of that, sadly. But APG now does get another one. 11 kill difference between these two teams, and you know, it's more than a miracle now, but Booby Dooby does must have the scout shot, managed to try and at least get something going here, but it's a tall order from now.
Very, very tall order. They're getting players no shields left and right, but not being able to finish off the kill. Booby Dooby, that scatter shot in the face does not do enough damage to finish off that kill. It's one of those times where sometimes the bounce scatter shot does more damage. He might have even tried to do the scope in, but nonetheless does not work. And APG gets his revenge and comes back with the victory. And Renegades, that doesn't happen to them twice in a row. They're moving on. And then joining us back on the desk, welcome back, Lottie.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to go to a Game 5 there, gents. What an incredible series we just saw. How was casting, though?
Yeah, it was right, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely a blast. Another extremely entertaining series here to watch. Of course, definitely a tough loss to take. What happened to Renegades yesterday just happened to EXCELERATE against Renegades here today.
Well, what did you make of their gameplay overall, gents? Were you impressed? Any big moments that sort of stood out to you?
There was actually too many big moments. I think there was like 30 or 40 I could probably count upon because it was so back and forth. Both teams were like changing the pace of the game so much, but I think the main talking point was the last 2 games. Renegades had so many camos on the echelon game, and even on that last game, like 5 camos in a row. It seems like with EXCELERATE, there wasn't really too much prep for that camo, or there was just times where they were getting killed too often just before it pops, and then literally would just get taken down from there afterwards.
Yeah, it looked like their teamwork just kind of gradually decreased as the series went on. We saw them playing amazing game number 1, even though they fell short. Game number 2, awesome job of adjusting.